Welcome to Jack
Hey,
Dodson'S Racing Insider News this week.
Oh, I'm going to ask you a favor.
No, well,
Yeah. I was asking you a favor. What are you doing next Tuesday night?
All right,
Can you
let's
stop
see.
right there? It's a 500
Jack is making plans,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
let's
All right, man.
let's thank our marketing partners. Let's say
Hey.
S&N Communications. I think those guys have been with us for a little while. PPS.
Okay. All right. Talk to you later.
How did we say this again?
What's that? Packet.
Packet Power
Power
Solutions. Frontline Performance Fuels, Parts, and Lubrications. The hottest fuel at Langley Speedway. May or may not pass tag. Huh? You got some of that hot fuel too? We had that all there. We like to give him a hard time. Thanks to Sammy, he sponsors the pit road walk videos, and we appreciate them coming on board this year. Langley Speedway, 75 years. Have you been here for all 75 or close? Huh?
Oh, next year it's gonna make 50.
I got to thank Miles the Seamless Gutter for always putting up the money for mine and Jack's ideas. Really appreciate those guys. Factory Canopies with Todd Davis and Airlock. Hit Todd Davis up, tell him we sent you to him. Fast Eddie's Barbecue. We had barbecue last week. Week before last. Got to thank Eddie for the barbecue and Tim for the banana pudding, his mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Mosquito Joe, Robert. Is he going to be here next week?
Robert Rummels is going to be with us next
in the
week.
house.
We're gonna have a party.
It's basically we're going to have this place will be jam packed next week.
They do.
So
Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Mountain Jack's drink of choice. MPM Marketing, Tanya McAllister. If you need some help with social media or driver contracts and that kind of stuff, hit Tanya up. Writing proposals, really appreciate her. She helped us with the driver suit this year. Appreciate that. Bonders Brothers Distillery. One day Jack's going to go get us some product, and we'll have another party.
we need to do that this week.
Yeah, so you could do that this week, Jack, and then we could have that for the
Oh, Robert would love that.
for the 500 show next week.
Yeah. I'll see what I work out.
Slinger Speed Company. We got our T-shirts. Appreciate Tim. We got some drivers' hats coming. So appreciate those guys. Papa John's Pizza, always for providing pizza. Week in and week out. Jack never gets tired of pizza. Never. GAC, Great American Company. Appreciate those guys. I think that's our longest running sponsor, I think.
Yeah. Appreciate
those guys. What's up, Sparky? I don't know if we can be associated with you, Sparky. I heard you cause some trouble this week. I'll just give it a time. Polecat, that's right. What's up, Victor? How you doing, buddy? There's some good, you know this kid, Clay?
Yeah, I've heard about it. More than I wanted to sometimes.
I understand if you want some rumors started. just tell it to Clay and he'll spread it like wildfire.
And Andrew Fuller. Hey, Andrew. All right, let's do the news real quick. Got a little bit of the news this week. At Daytona this past weekend, Ryan Blaney got the win in the Cup race. Come out of nowhere.
Man, I was pulling for Cole Custer.
I was too because I had him in the pool.
Oh, did you? I mean, I think that block, which I don't blame him for. Who was it that blocked him there? Come up from the bottom, because I can't believe that Cole got there on the outside that third lane. He got that thing working. But you know, it seems like he has done that quite a few times late in these draft races,
Yep.
and at the end, he's somehow like made that third lane come to life with 3 to go or 4 to go. You know, but it was an exciting race. It was
a real
and
good
they
race.
didn't wreck.
So, in the Xfinity race, combination winner there. Connor Sillis started the race and Parker Klingerman finished it. So they got the win. That was a pretty big deal.
I think that car was so good, Adam could have won.
They finished 1, 2, 3.
I mean,
They just got that place figured out, I guess.
The ARCA race was in Madison, Wisconsin, and Max Reeves got the win. That was his second win of the season. And Butterbean finished third. Up at Dominion Speedway this past weekend, The mod race, J.D. Eversole got a win. And then the American Racer late models, Chase Johnson won both races again this week.
No DQ.
On
No DQ.
fire.
No DQ.
What? I wonder where is his points for the national and all that stuff with the
Number one.
He's still number one.
Yeah, he still had a big lead. No, wait a minute. I think
He was tied. I think they were tied.
okay, they were tied. Okay, they were tied for it.
So they're tied after the DQ.
Yeah, I think so.
We ran, or I ran into somebody at Richmond that was, come find it was on their crew, and I was like, "Who you up?" I'm like, "Oh, y'all got DQ'd." He's like, "Yeah, I won't talk about it."
At Tri-County late model race, Graham Holler got the win. Hey, at Peevely on the dirt at Peevely, Missouri this week in the dirt modifieds, Kenny Wallace got the win.
I heard of him.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. He had a very big sale at his house this week, selling all his stuff.
I've seen that.
So anyway, I told Cher, I said, we ought to ride out there and see that. She said, no, I'm not going to ride up this house anymore like we did that one time.
Just pulled up in his yard.
I saw him post a video. Somebody just showed up at his front door.
Yeah, but I did the same thing.
He just said, "Come on in."
Well, he didn't that day.
Oh well, wrong day.
That day we were riding around, and I said, that's where Kenny Wallace lives. Of course, I had already looked it up on the computer. And so we turned up in there and went up to his shop, which is right across from his house.
Yeah.
So we pulled up to the shop. Nobody would get out of that car except me. So I got out of the car and went looking in his windows and see if he was in the shop. By the time some guys come out of the house, and my wife rolled the window down. There's some people coming. So when they got over there, it was Kenny Wallace and I don't know who the other two guys were. They invited us in and gave us hats and sit down and talk to us. And I mean, it was real cool when my wife said, "You're the only person I know who can get by with stuff like that."
And he said, "Adam does talk."
Yeah.
More on Saturdays than Tuesdays. People hear enough of me on Saturdays, man. I'm
Down at Sobo, late model race number 1, Trevor Ward won. Late model race number 2, Landon Dumbledon won.
They are tied.
Yeah.
Or not, Trevor and Peyton are.
Yeah.
Going into the championship race, man. That's cool.
At Owosso, an ASA Owosso, I don't know where that's at. Owosso, it's an ASA Stars race. Bubba Pollard got the win, so it was a big all-star race.
I want to see that dude come run the heat. I'm a Bubba Pollard fan. I mean,
down at Bowman Gray, this was championship weekend at Bowman Gray. Tim Brown got the win in the modified, and Brandon Ward won the championship. In the sportsman division, Tommy Neal ended up the winner. Zach Orr was disqualified for not dropping his oil pan, which seems to be a regular thing down there.
did the girl? But she won too. Didn't
Yeah, but she shows up this week and drops her pan, and they told her you're a week late.
They switched the boat out.
Well, and the sportsman Chase Robertson got the championship. At Caraway, we've got Bob Shack coming on here tonight, and he's with the Grand National Super Stock Series. Jeremy Mayfield got the win this past weekend, so hopefully we'll have him on here. He's supposed to come on our show sometime soon, but we'll see what happens. Down at Newport in the Mod 4s, who won the Mod 4 race?
Kevin.
No, he did not.
No.
Chris Ambergy won.
Oh, Birdie. Okay.
Limited late model race number 1, Tyler Worley won, and limited late models number 2, Lance Gatman. Down at Ace Speedway this past weekend, Dustin Rumley got the win in the late models. Gary Young won the modified, and Tyler Payne won the limiteds. Wake County, late model race number 1, Landon Huffman. Late model race number 2, Landon Huffman. So he won both races this past weekend at Wake County. All right, let's go to the Pit Road Roundup.
From Hampton.
Huh?
From Hampton.
Yeah, Hampton, right here at Langley Speedway, going to give us the Pit Road Roundup.
Man, we had good weather this weekend, didn't we?
That was a great day.
Ooh,
I heard it was a quiet weekend.
Well, you weren't here, man. You didn't get the No, it was not extremely quiet. But, it
Somebody said they thought this was a full moon. We looked at one. So
In the Grand Stocks, Paul Lubno got another win. In the Pro 6, it was Matt Dale. Super Streets, Sammy Gata with a FaceTime from our good buddy Robbie Parker. Shout out to Robbie. He is in Maryland, I think.
Yeah, I think
Praise
he
the
got a
Lord.
job up there for a
I
while.
know Jack's thrilled.
praise the Lord. He's up there.
He's going to be up there for a little while, he said. In the U-Cars, Jeremy Jones got his first win. That was good to see.
Yes, it was.
He been good this year. They just had some bad luck. And then in the late models, it was Greg Edwards and Cole Bruce got his second win.
How cool was that to see? You know,
I mean, that was probably one of the most emotional victory lanes
sure. Yeah.
I've ever seen down there for that race because, I mean, Adam was down there, so he could tell you more about it than I did. I was up here looking at it. But
What was that like? I mean, look, we all know what happened. And,
Yeah.
and what this means to him and his uncle that works on the car. And
He was thrilled. I mean, they were emotional even before the race was over. I was standing next to his sister down there, and she was losing it, and the race wasn't even over yet. I mean, they were ecstatic, and they should be, man. They've been through so much, and they haven't missed a beat. They're still good every week,
yeah,
I think, and for them to finally win it,
yeah,
especially under those circumstances, win the race and everything like that, it was unbelievable to see all those people. I mean, I don't think there was anybody down there that wasn't emotional when that
happy.
was
Oh,
on.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really cool.
I was expecting you to say special guest tonight, Cole Bruce.
Well, I tried, but that he had something to do. But the thing about it is, he went around the track and he made the stop over there, and and I could hear that they were trying to get the show going. Let's keep going. But when he pulled into victory lane, they just gave up. They wanted to let them have all the time they want, and
Yeah.
they didn't push it. And I thought that was really cool for the track to do.
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
I mean, those are moments you look for when you broadcast professional sports. Those are the top 10 moments right there.
Yeah.
Just great story and
And on top of all that, he was also driver of the week this week.
congratulations.
Did anybody else vote for anybody else?
Yeah, there was one other vote, but I can't remember who it was.
So it was only one?
Yeah, one vote, all it was.
Okay.
Everybody else was Cole Bruce. News since last week, since we were here, we understand that Collar Racing's going to have 5 Dodge trucks next year.
That was a surprise. I thought this was going to be like 3 different teams that were going to have these 5 or 6 trucks. And apparently they're funding the whole deal. I mean, it's what it sounds like.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite an undertaking. Like everybody said, how in the world is Collar going to end up with 5 trucks? I mean, they've got to ramp up a whole lot of stuff there.
Chris or Matt is a hell of a salesman.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
But
they seem to have done well with sponsorship, right? They've come to sport. Yes, Matt can fund some of it, right? I mean, yeah, he's done well for himself, but funding a cup team is not.
Yeah.
That's not a cheap undertaking by no means. But they've been managed to be able to sell good sponsorship and do well with it. And not people that are coming with or drivers coming with sponsors, right? Because they give other people like Josh Williams, an opportunity and so forth. So it says a lot compared to a lot of other teams.
And there may be a surprise coming up again. So we'll just have to wait and see for that.
Yeah, we heard some rumors.
Yeah, I've heard some rumors.
Might be some.
I heard also a couple other rumors too, but anyway. Since last week, we lost Humpy Wheeler. Since the last time I think we were on the show. Man, what a man he was at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The things he brought into Charlotte Motor Speedway. And you and I see it when we go to Charlotte and all the stuff that goes on down there.
But it's nothing to what it was when Humpy was there.
No.
Let's be honest. I mean, when Humpy was there, there was a circus on the front stretch for hours before the race started. And then one of the story always sticks out to me is when they had some sharks out there. It was like the first couple of years they started doing a bunch of stuff, and they're like, "Hey, well, what if PETA shows up?" He said, "They better be here. If they don't, somebody better fucking call them and make sure they are here. We want them to protest." But he was just he didn't care. He just wanted the publicity. I mean, man, the stuff that they has brung.
How did he come up with some of those ideas he had? I mean, that's really wild to think about. I I mean,
I mean, Joe Chipwood. I mean, hell, I don't know if we'd really know who he was if it wasn't for Humpy and those guys bringing him in, which I think he's the president of Daytona. If he's not,
no, he's gone. From
Is
there.
he?
He's gone
Okay.
from there. We're gone from that. Also, the word came out today that Zach Yeager, a member of the SS Greenlight,
Jackman, wasn't he?
yes, Jackman on the Xfinity and a Jackman on the 88 truck,
Mm-hmm.
was they found him dead. So that's,
Yeah, don't know much else.
they won't say anything right now.
He's a young guy too. Was he 36? I think he was
35.
35. Crazy.
That's kind of wild. And also in the news for us, next week,
Mm-hmm.
We'll
We're still
be-
gonna be here.
still gonna be here. Well, and we got great pool here now.
But we
Yeah,
do.
we got great pool here now. Next week will be our 500th show. So that's we're gonna have Bill Mullis is gonna be here. Brian White's coming next week. Brian Morehouse is gonna call us and come over or come on the Zoom call. Just confirmed Tim Brown is coming over here. Chris Myers is gonna be here from the Enduros.
Yep.
And he's bringing his
He's bringing them Oreo cookies.
He's bringing them cookies with him.
Jack Dodson Oreo cookies.
Them things were good as hell.
Yeah, they were.
So we got a whole group of folks.
Them sucker things, whatever. Them things were sweet.
Yeah,
But them Oreo cookie things, man, I murdered them things.
I was like, hey, it looked like an Oreo. Just,
They were good as hell.
they
Man.
were really good.
wow.
So next week, 500 show. I'll be putting out some stuff this week about it, and
You gonna be giving any prizes away?
well, I hadn't thought about that.
Driver of the week. That's what he's giving out.
There you go.
Well, yeah, we can't do that yet.
Good.
Eddie Clark says we ain't got no room for some barbecue. And Eddie Clark, I'm going to give you a call here in a few minutes. I mean, not in a few minutes today, but I'm going to give you a call. I need a favor from you. So,
Just put pressure's on it.
There's going to be a line out the door, Eddie.
but we're not going to have barbecue next week. I'll tell you that now before we get started. There won't be no barbecue. I'm sure Eddie, he ain't going to do another barbecue that fast.
Raymond said heard that they're getting trucks from Spire and they're putting new fronts and rears on. I heard the same thing. I don't know if that's true or not. It's probably the best place to get a truck from. But I didn't realize that the rest of the body was the same. It's just the nose and tail.
It's the same thing. Everything's the same. All they got to do is switch it around, and Spire's going to give up their trucks.
I don't think there's a difference in the motors, is it?
No,
They're all Ilmore
Yeah,
motors.
it's just-
that'd be cool. So if we have all that going
Well, I
on.
mean, it's the easiest. I mean, well, it's probably a mandatory if you want to get into a Cup Series as a manufacturer. Although they're being tight-lipped about it, right? They're saying they just do the trucks, but I just can't imagine that they don't move forward. And I may be wrong. It might be, 27 or 28. They may or may not go into the Cup Series, but I just can't imagine, especially if it does well. If the response is good, I can't imagine that they're not going Cup racing. And I like how Chris and them and Matt tried,
They're trying to divert it and not say anything about it.
right.
But I got a
But
feeling
they-
there's more to this story.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, they've said that we haven't had any of those talks, which they probably haven't, but you can read the writing on the wall.
Well,
And I like how they said there's going to be a firewall between the Chevy teams and the Ram teams.
Yeah. That'd be interesting.
It will be, because I mean, how long is this going to go on before Chevrolet says no, that you're not going to get any technical help? Now I don't even know if they're running Chevrolets. Are they getting anything from Chevrolet? If it is, it ain't
All
all.
right, but if they're not getting anything from Chevrolet, they're getting it from Childress.
Yeah.
Well, then they're right.
So
But is Childress going to jump ship? I mean, I've heard
I
possibly,
heard that.
but
I heard that.
but it's been kind of quiet since then. But they don't have any trucks, so I can't imagine they're going to go truck racing. But
It's going to be interesting because we got a couple more moves that's coming, getting ready to happen. So we'll see what happens when all that takes place. When Colleague and Spire and everybody starts looking at their Xfinity, the word is that possibility Colleague will keep one Xfinity car, for next year, not two. But then again, I've heard that they're not keeping any, that all of them.
Well, I've heard that too, and I guess Spire they're going to expand their Xfinity to Xfinity, and there's a lot of moving pieces in this whole ordeal.
And then wait and see what happens with the lawsuit, the infamous lawsuit.
That
It's
is
going to be huge.
it is. It's only getting bigger and bigger as time goes on.
And now that now they're making the threat that if they don't get their, what the whole thing could have been settled had they signed it or negotiated it back a ways back and got this thing straightened out. But now NASCAR dug their feet in, and I don't know if they're going.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think you can go to court and be confident on either way. And I'm sure the judge is going to say, y'all need to work this out, and then they're going to have to come to a solution. But the sad part is if you sell the one charter, or 5 charters, or the 6 charters, whatever the number ends up being, and then you go to court and you lose, the repercussions of the financial side of that can be massive, and vice versa. So, and I'm sure this is just trying to add pressure to 2311 and those guys to get them to come to the negotiating table. That's just my opinion, because it sounds like a few months ago that NASCAR is like, we don't even know what they want, and it seems like 2311 is like, we have this smoking gun that they feel like, and we're going to court.
Yeah.
So I think they feel like they have all the have a strong hand. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be massive. Greer says, remember Bill Davis had 2 manufacturers. I had forgot about that. The first one to Toyota. But how much help? I don't think they got much help because they were what Oldsmobile or no. Well, they went to Dodge, and then they went to Toyota. Pontiac.
All right, let's get Craig Estep in here. He's sitting here nice and patiently waiting for us to stop bullshitting.
Listen,
So, Craig, how's things going this year?
good.
Feeling better? Doing?
Oh yeah, I feel real good. A lot better than I have in the last couple of years. Just got a lot of help here. Dropped some weight, and just trying to get myself better in the race car to finish out my racing.
So, are you still saying this is it? This is last year?
Didn't he retire like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
3
July the 9th, 1977 is when I ran my first race. And this next year at that date will make 50 years that I've competed at least one time a season in 50 years. So that's my goal.
Okay. So, all right. Then what happens next year along about, let's say, March and April?
I'll be here tonight this year. Last year, there's something that's going to happen that happens to me here lately, and I ended up with the shingles, and it didn't really make me sick or nothing. It was just aggravating and hurting. So I didn't feel like I could drive the car. It just wasn't comfortable. We come over and test it. So opening night, I rented a car out to Rick Godovic. He drove it opening night, and then I knew I had a little bit of time there to do it. We had another car that we ran in 22, and I'd taken that car up to Bobby Creech, and he had it, and we did a bunch of crazy stuff to it and built something a little different. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to work on this thing, get it ready, and go to track and have some fun. We haven't really set a schedule out of when we were going to race. We came out and raced, and then we waited till the Hampton Heat, and that didn't go very good. And we come over and tested some more. Now we run, and I feel like the car is getting better. And we're going to run the last 100 lappers, finish out the season, and then get ready for next year.
Tim Wilson said it looked like
next year will be my last one. I'm driving. I've been
We'll talk to him this time next year and we'll see.
Yeah. Been working with some other people, kids out here helping coach them and stuff. It's a lot of fun and enjoy doing it, and stuff, and trying to help them get better. Another thing is getting them to understand what the car is doing so they can give you information back. a lot of times Raleigh Rondo's a prime example. She's driving the car, and to me the car looked tight, like she wasn't turning. And they kept saying, "Is it tight?" She's like, "No." I said, "Well, how far are you turning your hand?" She's like, "Oh, like this." I said, "Well, it's tight. Don't free it up. Your hand shouldn't go that far." So we just
You
working with them.
put the piece of tape on the steering wheel if it goes past here.
Yeah.
It's tight.
Well, that's like Saturday night when the incident I got in, and the tape you're talking about, the mark on mine was over here, and I said, "No, this thing's toes knocked out on it," so I knew it wasn't going to drive good, and so just parked it. There's no need in wrecking it, and it was just darting around so bad. Cars, you can't really run into nothing anymore with them. They're so fragile.
Yeah.
It just don't take much to bend things.
Well, yeah, you don't want to do all that. So what Tim Wilson said that what was it? It looked like the car was hot. It was a hot ride this weekend. I mean, it was good shape this weekend.
Yeah, the car was good. We come over and tested on Friday, and it felt like the car, we were consistent in the changes we made. We could keep the same speed the car started out on with tires. And then I come over Saturday, we swapped tires, and the car was just junk, and put the other ones right back on. It picked right back up where it was supposed to be. And we qualified, and I messed up down here in 1 and 2. We got through 3 and 4 good, and qualified 9th. Ran 8th the majority of the race. Felt like we had a pretty good piece, and the car just started getting too tight on entry. So I had to start backing my corner up a little bit, and that just allowed the cars behind us to catch us. And so we'll go to work on it and make some more changes.
So give me out of all these years, give me a couple of your highlights from those years.
Oh, Lord. Well, we did win that race in 97. It was a new winners race. And we had finished second several times during that season, had a really good car. And we came over here the last race, and we weren't even going to run the race because we were going to go to Martinsville, and we decided to come and qualified on the pole and led the whole 100 laps, which was good. We've had good cars over the years. We felt like we should have won some races and just didn't close the deal, So just racing against different people. I mean, we raced against Darrell Walter back in the day over here. He would come run this class. Just different ones. I mean, racing with, look at the people we're racing with this advanced up the ladder, racing with Elton Sawyer back in the day.
That's right.
And he's now at NASCAR. He's the guy nobody likes.
Yeah. Sparky says he wonders if he'll fit in Craig's seat. Sparky said he wonders if he'll fit in your seat.
Sparky couldn't see on the steering wheel. Have you ever looked at his seat? It's just as wide as it is tall.
I said that about Sparky. We all give Sparky a hard time.
Sparky's a good guy. I like him.
Yeah.
Him and his dad are great people. Talked to him. He was over here today testing with his car. And, just, it's fun. I mean, a lot of people we've met and made a lot of friends over here and doing this. I mean, none of us would have been friends if we went for racing. I mean,
but if you look back at all the people that you come in contact with and everything you've done, is it still as fun as it was when you first started out?
mm-hmm.
Or is it a little bit, harder, and it takes a little bit of the fun away from it? But you say it's still.
So we couldn't race today like we did back in the 90s and stuff because you raced every single week. Late models, we never got a break. I mean, he was back there. He was with them back in the 80s and 90s. We were here 32, 36 weeks a year in a row. 100-lap races every week.
That was the shortest race was 100.
Yeah.
And then we had was it a 250?
Yeah.
300 at the end?
I remember back, and this
It
was
used to be a 400, right?
This was before we had power steering, and we ran a 300-lap race in July on a Sunday, and I mean it was so hot, and I mean we come into pits and they're dumping ice water on me, in the car, and we did live pit stops. Do you remember that? I mean we come in and the guys run around, and it's one of somebody get run over down there.
I got hit.
Doing it, and
That's what.
But the racing's just different. The cars require a lot of attention, a lot of maintenance, and doing it, and everybody tests all the cars. I mean, if you look at Race Monitor, there's people over here almost every single day. And it's not like it used to be, you take the car home and some people leave it on the trailer till Wednesday, and then unload it and change the oil and do a few things, not beat the fenders out and come back and race. It's not like that anymore.
No.
And so it's I mean, you take most of your bigger late model teams, the Cars Tour, it's a prime example. And they have at least one hired person that works on those cars. Every one of them, if not more.
Yes.
And it's kind of took late model racing to another level. It's now it's a job. It's a profession, and versus being a Saturday night racer. And limited racing is, the limits that they run here, which are basically late models. I mean, some of the guys move up and run, but it just seems like they can. I don't think they have the maintenance or the stuff that we have to go through because they run the 604 motor, which don't require as much maintenance, and stuff. But and they run less laps. They don't run as fast as we do.
But they're not on. Yeah, they're not on bump stops, right?
Yeah, they're not on bumps. They run a Coney shock. I mean, we have to get our shocks rebuilt constantly with, change of stuff. We're on bump stops. Changing that stuff. And think of bump stop. I mean, some of these guys I've heard run as high as 8,000-pound bump spring on the left front. I mean, it's just like locking the suspension solid.
Yeah.
And they wonder why the A-frame breaks.
Yeah.
And it's I don't think even the cars, the abuse that the late models put on them, if you look at all your big teams, they sell a car in a couple of years. I mean, they don't keep them very long.
Yeah.
And they move on to a new chassis. But it's fun. I still enjoy it. Like I said, I really enjoy helping people, helping the ones and coaching and stuff. And that's kind of what I want to get into after I get out of the seat.
So you're gonna put somebody in your car and teach them how to race?
I don't know. It could happen if somebody wanted to, pay the bills to run it, then we could do a rental deal on it. But I got to get my program better and get the car running better to be able to market it and stuff. And so that's what I've been working towards. And not only working on the car, but working on myself to get the car up there. If I can get in it, and I'm an old guy, so if I can get input up there, these young guys can do it.
Yeah.
And it's just like I said, it's that being able to market. You can't sell something that don't run. If it's if you got a car can run in top 5, and you say, hey, I'm gonna rent this thing out, then you can rent it out. Nobody wants to rent something that's running in the back.
Right.
And so then you got to put together the package. I mean, you got to have a nice trailer, you got to have a crew, you got to have nice equipment and stuff. These people pay money to do that. They want to show up and be wined and dined here at the racetrack.
Yeah.
Rick Cadovic's probably the best of doing that part of it. They rented their car, but if you look at what they bring to the track, the people, everybody's in uniform. It's very professional.
Yeah.
So you can do that.
Yeah. I mean, Rick has invested a lot in Langley Speedway and racing in general.
Yeah. Well, after he drove my car, we discussed it and me doing that in the future, and he's offered to help me with it. If I want to do it, if I want to go in that direction and do it, I prefer somebody just has a limited car or something where I can come over here and coach them, help them work on the car, make it faster, and see that person, gradually climb the ladder, towards the front of the field.
Mm-hmm.
You build that reputation of coaching them, and then it keeps me doing something, keeps me involved.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that'd be fun for you to get out there and do some coaching, but you ain't gonna give up driving for a little while yet. So
I'm gonna run next year. I'm gonna start the season out running, and then I'll see how it goes. If we start out really good, it's gonna be kind of hard not to be here.
Kind of like Greg Edwards, he won't want to run no more either.
Yeah. We talked about that Saturday night, and he told me he couldn't quit till I did.
Well, I think both of you are safe. Although Greg might retire again this year.
Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't heard.
He didn't ever said anything. I think you know, you do this for so long and it just becomes,
Normal.
a normal thing to you. You know, if the late models aren't here, if your class isn't running, it's fine. You can stay away from this place and go do. But when those late cars are here, I mean, even when I wasn't running, I was here. I mean, and stuff. Or I'm watching it on flow if I was doing something else.
I mean, you can't just, give it up. You're still part of this.
It's been part of my life for so long.
Jeff said you've been killing him for years.
Huh?
Jeff said you've been killing him for years.
Oh, my brother. Yeah. But they, yeah, like I said, I mean, bring back my brother for a prime example. I mean, we're completely opposite of each other. We really don't do nothing but come to the racetrack and race. I mean, it's all we've ever done. And also, we don't go hang out. We don't go do nothing like that. So it does keep us close, keeps the family kind of close. I don't have no grandkids that want to run, so I'm good with that.
All right, so we we'll get back to you in a few minutes unless you got to go anywhere.
No, I gotta go to work.
All right, let's get Bob Shack on here.
All right, let's play an intro here. Let's see.
Hello, I'm Eric Enyart, and you're watching Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News with Scott Allen and Adam Welbrock.
Tip there.
All right, Bob, how you doing, sir?
Boy, I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Well, we're doing all right. We're here and got some good weather for a change, so we're enjoying it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So tell us a little bit how you got involved in this Grand National, whatever, Cup Series, Cup, whatever you call that, Grand National
Super Series.
That's it, Super Series. I couldn't remember the name.
Come on now, we're going to have to write it on your hand or something.
That's right.
I'm glad to send you a hero card to study.
Yeah.
So, the old K&N cars, ARCA cars, before this new whatever car they call it, NASCAR, there's no place to run these cars anymore. So, and they're everywhere. The old Pro Cup cars, heck, they're sitting around for, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, 10, 15 years ago, they'd be $20,000 cars. So we decided we'd put, a series together where you can run these cars and, come up with a good tire that would last everybody, that was inexpensive. And then any motor, I mean, you can run a wet sump motor, dry sump motor, a Ford and a Chevy and a Ford. I don't care, whatever you want to run. I've done a lot of chassis dyno, and I came up with a concept, if you will, around 600 horsepower to the rear tires, and it seems to work.
Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a neat series. I've kind of watched it in passing a few times, and I really like the series. I think it's fun for that. And you got a former Cup driver out there racing with you now. And that's a pretty big deal.
Well, it is. I mean, Jeremy, he's had a rough road there, but he's doing good. He's winning races with us. We got AJ Henriksen. He came from the Trans Am stuff, and his dad, has sponsored me for a long, long time. ECC there, and I mean, we've had Frank Kimmel race with us. We've had Clay Rogers. I mean, we've had a number of pretty good race car drivers, and the guys we got now are really good. I mean, we run our twin 50-lap races, and other than the competition yellow, that's about all that happens. We don't tear up no stuff, no cars. So everybody's respectful and race and have fun.
So how many laps are you generally running, and what's the caution? When's that come?
So when we qualify, we invert the top 6, and the competition yellow is on lap 20. So if a guy gets out there in front, he gets a straightaway, because the cars are so close, it's hard to make up that gap, So we came up with this competition yellow deal. So that way there just brings everybody back together. And then the last 30 laps, the heck, they race like crazy. And, they'll get the top 4 or 5 cars running bumper to bumper. And I mean, it's really good racing. You can go to YouTube there and, go to Grand National Super Series, and you can watch our races. We have our own production company. And, right now our races, people are watching them because it's free. You don't have to pay to watch it. It's free, and you can watch it anytime you want. And the races are really, really good.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it's really good. Now, where all do you race at? I mean, you got a diverse places that you race at. I mean,
So we try to stay within 6 hours of Charlotte. We go to, Caraway and Tri-County, and we're going to Franklin County this weekend, then Carteret, and then we do Dominion over there in Virginia. That's our last race of the year. And, I try to, we run Orange County and try to stay close to here because most of my guys got regular jobs. So, I don't want to keep them out too late on Saturday so they can get home and go back to work. So I try to keep that in mind when I book these races. We had 16 racetracks that wanted us this year. And I didn't want to have a schedule that just kind of wore everybody out. I like to try to have it, every other week. And then when it's really hot out, maybe take a week or two off, and then come back racing again. So we've really been doing well. Weatherman hasn't cooperated much with us this year. I think we've had 3 or 4 rainouts. So, but it's been good. I mean, it's, this is our 4th year, and we had 12, 13 cars at the last race. And, I got about 4 or 5 guys that are talking to me now that want to rent cars and buy stuff for next year. So I'm hoping that we'll wind up with 15, 20 cars for next year.
So are you working on your schedule for next year, and what all you got going on for that? Or are you still piecing it together?
So right now the schedule will pretty much look the same. I'm gonna reach out to Steve Zacharias there. He's got Florence and now he's got New River, and I'm gonna see if we can get him added on there. And there was another racetrack that's Hickory, I think. Kerry Earnhardt's been talking to me, really wearing me out, wanting to go to Hickory. So we might do something over there. I have to talk to Kevin and see what we can do. But it'll probably, 13, 14 races is probably where I want to stay at. But I to get to your question, because I'm kind of at the mercy of the promoters and track owners and stuff like that, I got to wait till they're kind of done, and then we start working on the schedule. So I'm hoping that by December 1st round in there that we'll have it out.
Well, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a great series, and who all helped you with the series? I mean, I know you got a bunch of people helping you out. And who all helped you with it?
So I've got, my wife, Patty, she does it. I got Matt Walper that works with me with his wife, Lisa. And then we've got, I got Isaiah Hogan who works with us, and he does, driving for us. He drove AJ's car to Orange County there and really did well. And then I got a couple of guys, Randy Sward and Jared, they come from Ohio. And I got another guy from Gary Forster comes from Georgia. From Georgia. So just like the series, we got people coming from everywhere.
And I hear you got a guy named Joe Staples that comes and hangs out with you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Joe has really helped me a lot. For the first 3 years, I tried to do it all, and I just there's no way. I mean, trying to still race and drive and be the promoter and be the guy that pays everybody and on and on and on. So I wanted to get somebody in there that would help take the load off of me, and Joe has really done a good job for us. He's our race director now.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody compliment Joe.
I know. I mean, it's kind of
probably because I'm on the other end of the stick, right?
The thing about it is, Joe was one of the people on our show for a long time.
Yeah,
and
that's why we had a ratings.
That's our ratings were really low, and then
Yeah,
he left, and we went sky high then.
Joe has done a good job. I mean, him and I talk about stuff. We're trying to, it's like anything else. The more people that come in, guys try to get, kind of crazy and stuff. And, we all got to be dragged back to reality every now and then. And Joe really does a good job of helping me do that. He'll say, "Hey, did you see this?" And I'd say, "Yeah, I seen that. Go do something about it." And then he'll go over there and be the bad guy for me. So it works out pretty good.
Yeah, Joe being a bad guy, I can see that. I can see that. Well, Bob, we appreciate you spending a few minutes with us tonight to tell us about the series you're involved with, the Super Series.
Yep. No, and I mean, hey, if there's people listening that want to come and do this, I mean, my rules and stuff are at grandnationalsuperseries.com. You can check out the rules. You can call me. I'll help you find a car if there's something you're looking for or whatever you need. So, I'm not one of those guys that just starts this thing and then I hide in the closet somewhere. They can talk to me and I'll help them do whatever they need to do.
Well, you can go ahead and you can go ahead and hide in the closet and let Joe Staples handle it. Anyway, Bob, we appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again real soon, man. And hopefully I'll see you at one of these races.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you, guys.
All right, man.
Thanks, Bob.
Bye.
Yeah, Raymond said that Langley's 6 hours from Charlotte. It's right close, but it's
Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool, but.
Well, he said Dominion's further than us.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think what he's doing is pretty smart because there was a lot of those cars around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Get them really cheap.
Well, you can get them cheap, and almost everybody back in that area knows how to really get those things to work, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we all sort
I
of
mean, Kerry
cut
Earnhardt,
our teeth on. You know?
Kerry Earnhardt's involved in it. Of course, Jeremy Mayfield and all those guys who are involved in it. I mean, they've attracted some guys that
Some
probably
names.
know a lot about this.
Correct.
So I think it's pretty cool. All right, let's go to our next, the elusive person. He's always, we're always looking for him.
Let me know when I'm hot.
You're hot.
Robert Rummels with Mosquito Joe. Thank you for tuning in to the Jack Dodson Racing Insider News with Scott Allen. See you next week.
Dude, he is always
He's on the chip. Man. All right, there's my man, Air Doug. I'm gonna tell you what, you're a hard man to get in touch with and get involved. I'm trying to get you for what, weeks now?
When you're popular, Jack, that's what happens.
Maybe, honestly, maybe since February, to be honest.
The bad part about it is you and I spoke face to face in Florence at the first of the year. I mean, I'll get with you in a couple of weeks.
And then he ignored you.
And then he ignored me.
I didn't ignore you.
was beginning to think I had a problem.
Well,
How's
now.
things going, Doc? Everything you got, man, how's racing with Pulliam? And tell us all about how the season's going.
Oh, man. Well, we definitely had better seasons in my life.
Yeah,
He's better service too.
I guess that question didn't work too well. Asked him a question and he just. Oh,
Somebody probably called him.
is that what it is? Okay.
Well, it could be.
Well, Doug, I see you still don't want to talk to us.
I did my part.
There he is. He's back.
Oh, my gosh. I'm sorry. I'm on my phone. I got a phone call. It ripped me out of the call. But, no, I mean, I've definitely had better seasons before. You know what I mean? But it's been fun regardless. The results definitely aren't what myself or the team wants, but everybody's trying. It's definitely been disappointing and humbling this year. So I kind of felt like when I jumped on board that there was going to be a good chance we put some B to A, and that didn't exactly happen. You know what I mean? We've kind of just been lacking speed for the past 3-4 months, but now we're heading into a good track at Florence, so I'm hoping we can put on a show there.
Yeah, I thought you're pretty good down in Florence because I've seen you race down there a couple times, so I think you're pretty good down there.
I got about 1 billion laps, so hopefully it means something.
So what's it like driving for Pulliam? I mean, you're in there with one of the most iconic late model racers around.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely different. Like just not even so much for him, but just like it being him, but just running for a team in general is just different for me. You know what I mean? Like I've never really ran for anybody. I ran one race last year for AK Performance. Outside of that, it's been my own terms my entire life. So it's definitely a different way of going about it, showing up to the track. We have way more people. I've met a lot of great people on the team. And then Lee himself, like he's taught me a lot. Like he approaches things a lot different than I ever did. And I've tried to be all ears, take everything in. And he knows his stuff, obviously. If you're gonna win that many races and championships, you definitely gotta know something.
So what kind of adjustment has that been for you? I didn't really think about it. I thought you'd ran for yourself, and then this year driving for a team, it's got to be like kind of unorthodox. You've been doing it yourself all these years.
Yeah, I mean, it was just odd not really doing anything at the track. You know what I mean? Like there's so many people that I'm almost just in the way if I attempt to do anything. And that was the biggest adjustment for me, but honestly, being lazy is kind of an easy adjustment. You know what I mean? It's not like you go from nothing to doing everything. So the other way around probably would be a little bit harder. But I think that was a big one. But the biggest adjustment for me has been the tracks, just because I've ran at more new tracks this year than I probably have my entire life, other than when I was just starting out. Because, prior to this year, I only learned 2 tracks in the last 5 years. It was Carteret and Florence. And now Florence is one of my best tracks. I've ran there so often,
Yeah.
but Caraway, Ace, North Wilkesboro, wherever Anderson, like Orange County, all these places I'd never been to before. And then we're supposed to put together, a race winning race. And I sometimes have felt like I've kind of held us back a little bit because I just fully haven't been ready for that. You know what I mean? Like after I leave these races, I'm like, man, I have so much knowledge. Next time we come back, I could apply it. But I didn't have any knowledge coming in. So I'm just learning the whole time and I have nothing to apply to these new tracks.
Now, being at Lee's, there's so much. I mean, obviously, he was the man for a long time. Do you, when you get out of the car and say, hey, do you say, hey, the car's doing this, or do you go in and say, hey, I think we need to change X, Y, or Z? What's your approach?
I mean, I have my inputs, but just kind of the way they do everything, I don't really tell them what to do or like, this is what I do with the track, while this, that, the other thing. I don't really do that with these guys versus like when I'm on my own program, I make more of a call. But yeah, I mean, obviously you got to be descriptive with everything and then let them make their own call based off of that. You know what I mean? But I feel like they trust me with everything too. So there's never been like, are you sure the car's doing this? Like whatever we're doing, we're adjusting to that. And I don't know if that's a normal thing, but I was kind of worried about going to a new team and then them maybe not having all the faith in the world in you. It's like, oh, if the car's doing this but the pressures look like this, they might not believe you, and then you're out in left field. But it hasn't been like that at all, so that's been nice.
So have you run your own car some this year? I think you did one that was Southern National or somewhere. You ran your car one time?
Yeah, so I ran the Speed Week deal. I won three out of 4 nights down there. And then the last time I ran it, which was also right after Speed Week, so I ran the Dickie Boswell race at Dominion and won that too. So I'm actually, you see I'm on on a golf course right now, but I was supposed to be testing the day at Hickory. I was going to take my car down there, but then the dually broke. So I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, well, somebody had said, how good is your golf game?
Not good. Not good. I'm not even going to show my scorecard, to be honest. Somebody's going to trust it. But no, I've just recently got into it. This is only my 5th time ever golfing. So I actually just went with my girlfriend the day. So it's been a argument fest. I'm just kidding. But
I think I'd like to play you one time in golf. Did I think you're just brand new at it?
oh man, I'm telling you, it would be free money. I'm gonna need like a 30-stroke lead or something like that. Well, actually, I might be pretty good. The highest scorer wins, right?
Right. Okay. But look, when you're doing your own car and doing Lee's car, I mean, how much of a difference is it between the two? I mean, you call your own shots and Lee sets the car up. I mean, are the cars that much different?
Well, yeah, a little bit, just because like we run different chassis. So like when I'm racing with them, I run the Hedgecock's chassis, and then when I race my car, it's a Reynolds. So like I've pretty much only known Reynolds since 2017. Like that's just what I've ran. And so getting into there's definitely an adjustment period and just like little driver comfort things. Like I got a seat mount poured but the seat was smaller, so it was tighter because I put on weight over the off season. Like just little things that add up, like 10 little different things inside the cockpit that add up. Like, oh, my seat's not staring down the left front like it is in my car. So I feel like I'm having to look around the post here and like little things like that were the biggest thing for me. But then we had a test session at Florence before the season started. I feel like I wiped a lot of them out. And now I ran their car so much I feel uncomfortable when I get back in mine. So it's kind of reversed.
Well, I mean, you got a lot going on there with two teams racing. I guess you raced the other one when on tracks that's not Cars Tour.
Yeah, I don't run my car on the Cars Tour. So our deal is I'm running the Triple Crown and the entire Cars Tour race with them. And then I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the year, what I'm going to do when it comes to like the Classic and the 400. And I think it kind of depends on like what next year looks like for the both of us as far as like Lee and myself. So I'm not too sure what the end of the year is going to look like, but
Yeah, that was going to be my next
How
question.
is it working with Laney? I mean, I know Laney's in the other car a lot. I mean, do you all have a good communication between the two of you?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically an open notebook. It's not like two teams going until the race starts. It's not like two teams going against each other. And then if it wasn't a good weekend for either one of us last week, but I'm sure she'll tell you I knocked the hell out of her for P35th last week on accident. But but we race each other hard. But I kind of thought coming in that I was going to be more of like I wanted to take anything I could give her and help her get up to speed at different tracks like Hickory, she's got laps of Florence, but like Dominion and stuff like that, like tracks that I'm already good at. And I wanted to help her get up to speed, but she's been to way more tracks than me, to be honest. Like when we went to Caraway and North Wilkesboro and stuff, like I'm going off her, I'm going in their trailer and watching her GoPro, looking at their notes, like trying to get up to speed with her. Like if you pay attention to the Friday practice charts, it's nothing for her to be 20 spots in front of me at this point. You know what I mean? So I've definitely learned way more from her than I ever thought I was going to. And I'm not knocking her. Like I've always thought that she can drive the hell out of a race car. I just didn't know how broad her tracks were. You know what I mean? I didn't know how many tracks she'd actually been to.
You didn't know you were behind her.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, well. We need to let you get back to your golf game. You probably don't have a whole lot of time left to play.
He's probably already up to 120 or so.
It just worked probably in the 130s, but I just I finished the 18th at 7:41, so I'm all done. I'm sitting.
Oh, you're all done. Okay, well, I guess it's time to go work on the car now, right?
No, you got a
The
team.
it actually isn't. It's the truck, but it's because the truck broke down. But that's up in Southern Maryland, so
Oh, okay.
I'm done. I'm gonna go eat dinner. I'm going to bed.
Oh, okay. That's what a driver's good for. I'll have to give you that.
Yeah, man. Hey, like I told you, I've done a good job of just bringing my helmet and suit to the racetrack this year.
Yeah. You're exactly right.
Nobody can carry a helmet like me.
All right, Doug, we appreciate your time, man. And next time I call on you, don't leave me down the road.
Don't ignore him.
Yeah, don't ignore me. I got one guy around here that's been ignoring me for the whole year, and as soon as I get a hold of him,
he's like a dog with a bone. He don't let go.
Oh boy. I got your number saved now, so we'll do this again.
Yeah, it's in the block.
Yeah.
All right, Doug, we appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you again.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for having me.
All right,
Hey,
man.
buddy. Yeah, I didn't think about like him running his own car and then going to a team. That's got to be weird, right?
I wonder if they're the same chassis. I wonder if he runs Hedgecock.
No,
No, he's running.
he's running Reynolds. And,
and
Pulley
he's running.
Hedgecock.
Completely different.
Yeah,
So that's pretty big difference there between the two of them.
So it's nothing that he's getting from lease that he can use on his car.
no,
Not really.
There's nothing he can bring from Reynolds over there because everything's so different.
yeah.
It's all different.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? I mean, back in the 90s, everybody had different chassis, but you could pretty much bolt on whatever and use it from any other.
Yeah.
It wasn't specialized, that chassis, but now things are just so specialized.
All right. Well, we got our next guest already sitting there ready to go. He's an important person, so I guess we need to go ahead and get him on here.
Hi, I'm Lenny Baticki from PRN at the Track, and you're watching Jack Dodson's Racing Insider with Scott Allen and Adam Wellbrock.
What's up, Trey?
How's it going, y'all?
Man, we're doing well, man. And I'm glad we finally got you on. Not your fault, our fault, but I always think that you come from an interesting background, right? In the NASCAR world, the people that don't know, Trey works for NASCAR, right? And you just kind of switch jobs. But you're originally from Mexico, and you said that you are always a NASCAR fan. So kind of tell people a little bit of background about you and how you got into the sport.
Yeah, so I'm pretty far close to Mexico. I'm originally from San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
About as close as you can get down in the States, right? So, but certainly far away for at least throughout my upbringing, about as far away as you can get from, stock car racing out here, right, out in Charlotte. So, it was definitely something that I kind of just grew into, even being so far away and disconnected from it. I can think of baby pictures of me playing with, toy cars, always kind of just being full on enthralled, within NASCAR and stock car racing. My dad was, kind of ushered in as a fan throughout the 90s, through the days of Earnhardt and Gordon and that sort of deal. And so, when I was born in '01, like I was kind of just being brought into, the sport, on this big climb. Right. And so throughout my childhood was really, seeing the peak of all that. Right. I mean, seeing, Disney movies being made, after the sport and that sort of deal. Right. I mean, it was, you couldn't, turn on the TV and there wasn't a commercial on without one of the drivers. Right. So it was just always something that I just grew into and was fascinated by. And then when I was about 6 years old, finally attended my first race at my home track, at Texas Motor Speedway. My aunt and uncle and my cousin, they have a camper trailer out there that we camp outside of turn 3 there every year. And so since then, just, it just reaffirmed my love for the sport. And so, going continuously making that, an event, throughout the year, whether it be the spring or the fall race back when it had 2 dates. And then kind of, going when it came to, time to pick a career going into school and whatnot, like, again, kind of growing up, pretty disconnected from it all outside of maybe like, 3 days out of the year where, right. When they come into town, come into Fort Worth, it never really occurred to me. I was like, oh, let me chase this. Right. Like, let me make this happen in terms of like making this a job or that sort of deal. Then one night kind of just got bored, Thanksgiving break, looked up what kind of stuff there could be, right? Not even really taking it seriously, to tell you the truth. Lo and behold, this internship opportunity came up, filled it out that night, was able to impress, some people somehow, some way, a few months later, and then ended up doing a stint down Daytona during the summer 22. Finished out school the next calendar year, and then was fortunate enough to come back. So since basically the summer of 23, been here full time, right out of school. So it's been great. And like you said, it's whether it's the track stuff that I used to be doing, the track PR role in terms of managing the day-to-day stuff, across places like Darlington, Richmond, Phoenix, Kansas, Iowa, and wherever we put the Clash. So what I'm doing now, right, with the racing PR world, all of it's been a joyride. So I'm really fortunate because I know not a lot of people get as lucky as I do, right, to come from where I'm from and be just totally pushed into something, right off the bat and not really, having to go through, the grudge of it all and that sort of deal. So I recognize my fortune and know that I'm definitely well aware of the luck that I have and just very, very fortunate to be in the spot that I am, for sure.
So how many races do you go to? I mean, do you travel to all of them, or? I
go to about a little less than half, I'd say. I don't live too miserable of a life when it comes to that regard, right? So I'm not putting in, the platinum member miles on any airlines or that sort of deal, but I'm putting in, quite a bit at the same time. So last year, I think I tallied around like 15. This year, I'll probably tally somewhere around then, around there again, depending on how these last 10 races shape up for me. But it's a good balance. I'm still, I'm able to be, again, at the track a great bit amount, but at the same time, I'm still able to, control my sanity and also, be a fan at the same time, at home and watch races like I have all my life. So I definitely appreciate that dichotomy, for sure.
So what all are you involved in when you come to the racetrack? I mean, I'm sure even like us probably don't think that there's a whole lot to do, but I'm sure in the background there's a lot more than what people realize there is. So what kind of things are you having to do or are you involved in when you're at the track?
It's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So I can say, for the last 2 years, right, when it comes to the track stuff I was doing, my week starts probably earlier than anyone else's when it comes to people that have to travel into town, right? And it's a lot of, getting to the track. It's maintenance work, right? It's grunt work. It's cleaning up media center tables, making sure coolers are stocked, and things are, the floors are nice and shiny and neat and that sort of deal, right? Making sure, hey, we're presentable, right? This is, we're a major sport league. We need to treat our media with the best of our capability, and so it's our job to make sure that the facilities that they're working out of are in good shape, right? And then kind of backtracking a bit, if we go into the weeks leading up into the race and kind of, race weekend itself as well, we put on our promotion hats. It's, making calls out to certain people about, hey, we have this driver on the hook. Would you like to, give them a call? Or, hey, we have this event going on. Can we get this driver here? That sort of deal. All within the respective markets of, the tracks that we're racing at, right? And so it's dealing with, those local media folks, across the country, depending on where we're at, and making sure that they know that, hey, this traveling circus that we call NASCAR, we're here, right? And we're big news. So that's definitely a big portion of the job. And then come race weekend, we're basically the human versions of Google, right? We're answering questions, that media might have, making sure to troubleshoot anything that we need to, all while, helping out our main comms folks in terms of moderating press conferences, making sure our driver bullpens are going swell, and that all the stuff involving post race, whether that be interviews on pit road or victory lane or TV grabbing folks, making sure that's going all well and dandy at the same time as well. So really, it's just making sure that when fans are tuning in to see what their favorite drivers have to say in the weeks leading up to and during and after the race, that all goes well, right? We're just making sure that that's all in a good spot coming those race weekends, that fans are able to get, the good sound bites and, the storylines that our sport has to offer.
And so it sounds like you get there before everybody else does, and you leave after everybody else does.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
So what did you want to do? So you went to college, right?
That's right. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I originally went to college. I went to Texas State University on San Marcos, Texas. It's about right in between Austin and San Antonio. To be honest, I thought I was going to go into something completely different. I thought I was going to go into like the higher ed route. My dad had a lot of friends that did that. And so I was like, all right, well, cool. I don't got to do much networking. I know these folks, right? Hey, maybe this is as easy of a career as I can find. Right. Wasn't particularly like excited or anything about that, but I knew it was like, hey, like this could work out. I can pay the bills with this and that sort of deal. Right. But again, like when, the opportunity came to, this job, this intern program thing, that sort of deal, right? It kind of opened up the floodgates of me knowing that like, hey, like I can make a career out of something that not only that I really enjoy, but something that's a big part of my personality, right? I mean, all my family members, all my friends know that like, hey, this kid loves NASCAR, this kid loves stock car racing. And so for me to be able to make that quick switch was, definitely prized. And so I definitely don't take that for granted whatsoever.
Well, I'll tell you what was it like when you walked into your first media center and had those guys from the NASCAR Cup Series come in there, and you're seeing the guys that you watched?
Yeah,
it's like for you.
It's a surreal experience. I'll say so my first ever race coming on full time was the 2023 Cookout 400. And so I remember that it was either that Friday or Saturday. Yeah, like you said, we had guys just coming in, talking around. First of all, it's one thing to be kind of starstruck and caught off guard by the drivers. It's another thing too to be, that have that same sort of effect that, these media members have as well, right? I mean, I follow guys on Twitter like, Bob Pockris, Jordan Bianchi, all those names. And so like, they flood my timelines on socials. And so like seeing them in person and getting to meet them and having them being like, actual people that I work with on a day-to-day basis, like, and, for the first time, me knowing that this is part of the job, that was pretty nuts in itself. But yeah, drivers, file in and that sort of deal. Again, I'm used to seeing them on a television screen 38 weeks out of the year. And so seeing them in person was definitely, kind of nuts. And so, but I mean, after a while, I'd say after that point, it kind of all simmered away, right? I mean, you quickly realize that, hey, these guys are just, homegrown good old boys, just like, you and I. And so it's made it, at points, you kind of feel it, whether it's like a guy, from the mid 2000s that you don't really see all that often, or a legend from way back when and that sort of deal. But when it comes to like the current guys in our stable, I've definitely gotten used to them, and I think they've gotten used to seeing my face enough as well to know like, hey, we're cordial, we're cool, and we leave it at that.
I'll tell you what, y'all do a great job in keeping everybody in line. We come in there and you have everything set up and ready to go. And I mean, it's a great thing.
I can remember mine and Jack's first time ago, and the coolest thing was us to see our name on the little thing where you put everybody's like, man, they know who we are.
That's right.
To us, that was like the coolest thing ever. It's like we made it.
Yeah.
What was it like taking your family to their first race, and we're privy to get access, right, and to get them access. What was their first experience like? That had been the coolest thing ever to be able to do that and to watch them.
Yeah, it was cool. So I'll say like my dad had been to a number of races well before I'd ever gone to my first race. His first race, I think, was in like 2000, 2001. So he had always been privy to it and always been exposed to it in some degree. But you're right. It was only a short couple of years ago where like I got to bring out like my mom and like my two sisters and that sort of deal out to the track. And so to see them have that experience was definitely neat. Preface, they're not nearly as diehards and degenerate fans as me and my dad are, right? So, it was definitely a bit of culture shock and just them kind of looking a bit lost throughout most of the day, right? But you can tell there's a sense of appreciation. And I think since that day, they've definitely gone more and more into the sport. Just like a lot of fans when they come to their first race, right? Getting to see it all up close in person and that sort of deal. You find a new grown appreciation for everything that happens around the garage and down the track. And so was definitely, a neat experience to be able to do that. And definitely neat to, now I'm in the fortunate position to where, there are weekends where if they want to come out to the track, I could get them a little bit closer access like you guys do when you come to the track and that sort of deal. So being able to do that for them is, the cherry on top in that, in that sort of dynamic. And so I'm definitely fortunate to be able to, put on for them and make sure that, when they come out, they're able to enjoy the experience that, as much as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now you're living in Charlotte. So that's a pretty big deal to be down in Charlotte, be around all that stuff too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Kind of again, being what I thought was as far away from, the hub of the sport as possible to now being smack dab in the middle of it, it's pretty insane. And so, going to work and that sort of deal, driving up to, I'm based out of the R&D center, driving up, and you have all these, road signs that point to different race shops and that sort of deal. We have tons of events and deals and that sort of deal that we do with the drivers and the teams. Tomorrow we have a playoff media day out at the convention center. And so it's pretty surreal to, kind of just be, in the middle of all the madness that kind of goes on in our sport and know that, all the magic happens, at least, somewhat of a drive nearby and that sort of deal. So it's really cool. I definitely don't take that for granted either, to be able to, be, around everything. And, it's neat to be, in the spot that all the stuff, kind of goes down for what we do.
Well, Trey, we appreciate you spending some time with us, and we'll get to see you again. Probably, are you going to be at Charlotte?
I will be at Charlotte. Yeah, you'll definitely see me there as well.
See you down in Charlotte, and so we'll talk to you again real soon. And thank you for your time tonight, man. I know
we appreciate it.
Cool deal. No, I appreciate y'all. Always a pleasure seeing y'all at our media centers across the circuit. And looking forward to seeing y'all again sometime soon.
All right, man. Let's talk when we get down there. We'll talk to you again.
Yes, sir. All right. Y'all take care now.
All right,
see you, buddy.
Thank you.
The video is always so professional and running ragged in Phoenix when Jack put the wrong phone number in for me. He's like,
why you keep looking at me like that?
How dare you, Jack?
I didn't even look. I said, look, could you put me and my friend on the thing? And well, my friend's like, hey, I got a pass. Like, what do you mean you got a pass? I ain't got no pass yet.
We did that on purpose.
I don't know. So like I ended up, so finally I ended up texting Trey. I'm like, Trey, hey man, can you I ain't got no text message yet. Am I? He's like, well, you're on the list. I see it. We sent it out. And he's like, I'll go. When I get to the computer, I'm going to send it to you right now. You should have it. Just send it. Ain't got it. Ain't got it. 2 or 3 days go by. He's like, well, I'm flying to Phoenix. And when I get to Phoenix, I'm going to fix it. And I'm like, is this the number you got, Trey? He's like, I see what the problem is.
So I get the blame for it. I'm 2,000 miles away. I get the blame for it. Well, Craig, let's go win a race this weekend. Next weekend. Next weekend.
The 13th.
13th.
It's gonna be 100 lappers. That's the first one this year. So tire management, I think, is gonna be very critical. So
It's got to be.
you're gonna have to have a really good handling race car to have tires at the end of that thing. We'll come over and do some more testing and get faster and see what we got.
Well, I hope you go out there and get you a good finish and
For the old guys.
yeah.
Yeah, the old guy. They don't even give senior citizen discounts out here.
I know.
Like the sweetheart pass you used to get back in the day.
Oh,
Something.
yeah. You remember back when Joe Carver had the place, you would go in the little building down here and you stand outside in a line, every division, and to get paid after you race.
Yeah.
And they'd open the door, let you in one at a time. And he'd have a sheet right there. He said, okay, your class. He'd come down, find you, scratch it out. He'd have a pile of cash. He'd pay you cash. And he'd go, what about my pit pass? And he picked the thing up on his desk, his calendar, and he'd pull out that $5 that it cost you for a pit pass and give it back. If you asked for it. If you didn't ask for it,
You didn't get it.
yeah, pit pass was $5.
That's a whole lot different now.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, that's our show for tonight. Tune in next week. We're gonna have a big one next week. Our 500th show, and that's I would have never thought we'd have made it 500. I mean, it's 10 years.
We didn't have 500 views in a year from when we first started.
I mean, 10 years ago when we started this, well, it's been over 10 years.
I put up with you for 10 years.
I guess you got your crosses to bear, and I do too. So, but anyway,
It's mutual.
next week, Bill Mullis, Brian White, Brian Morehouse, Chris Myers.
Keep going, baby. You're doing great.
They forgot the rest stuff. But we're gonna have Tim Brown is gonna be here with us next week. So that's gonna be cool.
I'm gonna ask, did Rick no mask?
Rick Bass. Yeah, I've sent him 2 or 3 messages, got nothing in return. So I don't know whether he gave me the wrong number or
No, because when I hit it and called it, it said Rick Mask.
or did.
The caller ID did. That's his phone number.
Okay. Well,
He told us a funny story about Tommy Ellis here when he raced back in the day. So somebody filled his water bottle in the car with the
water out
ditch
the
water. Tommy went off on somebody. I'm like, yeah, that's Tommy.
Anyway, but please join us next week. We're gonna have a little fun with that and have our 500 show. And hey, Chris Myers is gonna bring us some cookies.
It's gonna be a good day.
That's right.
So anyway, all right. Thank you, and we'll see you again next week.